Good morning, Connecticut. It's not unusual to want to be liked in the real world and on social media, but when the number of likes, shares, friends, or followers leads you to have anxiety and signals for a need of approval, it can really become a problem for your child. And that's why we have more from Dr. Amy Alamar this morning to talk about social media metric phobias. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, first of all, what is a phobia when it comes to social media?
Yeah, so just like you were saying, when it's interfering with your life, when the number of likes or followers is interfering with your day to days. So if you can't, and if you're obsessively checking your phone and things like that because you're worried about it, it's interrupting what you're doing.
Now, will a child tell you if they're having issues?
Not always, but there are signs you can look for. So, is your child checking their phone more than they usually do? And no, they check it a lot anyway. But are they also referencing like, oh, I didn't get, any followers on that or any likes on that? Or, have you noticed any mood changes with them, social changes, sleep changes, some of the normal red flags you look for?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Now, and what are the strategies when it comes to talking with your kids and what you can do if you do believe your child has this problem?
Yeah, I mean, really teaching them and modeling self regulation is huge. So that can mean, some people say limit screen time, but it's more than that. It's like quality screen time versus, just passive screen time, but also identifying sort of trouble areas. So are there any apps or specific things that are really causing a lot of anxiety, and how do we avoid those or cut them off? Maybe identifying some alternative activities that engage them. And those could be online, but maybe they're offline or maybe with other people, and then just helping them keep that big picture in mind, like what is it to be a person in today's world, and how do you help them own their decisions and really own that self-regulation?
Now, when they maybe see something on social media, maybe they weren't invited to a party, how do you talk to them about that?
Yeah, that's never easy, and adults suffer from this too, right? We've all heard of FOMO. So it's really talking to them about their own self-esteem and building their own confidence in who they are as a person. And teenagers and tweens are really susceptible to this. Everybody is, but they are really primed for this. And growing up, we really don't know in this generation how it's fully affecting them, but there are some things you can do to boost self-esteem. You can focus on their character as opposed to a trophy case or their achievements. So sort of praising their efforts and praising who they are. You can celebrate the diversity in their life. So really talking about not just the people they're with, which is really important, but also the things that they do and what the norms are. So there's not just like one pair of jeans or one app to use, right? Like there's a diverse world out there. And you really want to talk to them about their choices. So when they do something really bad, of course, follow through with a consequence, but more importantly, why did they make that choice, and really help them think through that, and just helping them to own their own decisions and be their own person. So promoting independence through different activities like letting them monitor themselves online.
When it comes to those social media accounts, too, you were talking about tweens, teens. What is the best age where you can let them have one? Because it's definitely something that.
And that's the question, right?
Yeah.
So, we've seen the average age. It used to be, 12 to 14. Now it's more 10 to 12. And young kids have mobile devices that aren't their own phones, maybe, or they're not taking them out of the house, but, they're on them. So really it's more about the quality of time that you spend on it and teaching them. And that's like a whole nother segment on, how you really monitor them when they're young and then sort of wean them off. But tweens and teens typically right now we're seeing have their own devices or access to them.
Dr. Amy Alamar, always great to see you with such